Hello everyone, my name is Miro and thank you for joining me for another planty video that's gonna be filled with work. So we have quite a few plants to repot today, but we're gonna move through them quickly. This is like no BS repotting, which definitely means that I will go off on many tangents, as I always do. But I have prepared a bunch of potting mix here, which you probably can't really see. I have prepared a bunch of pots. We're not gonna use all of these pots today, but I just wanted to repot several plants here, and we will have like a massive repot in the near future because I need to take care of my Millsbo cabinet. And finally, the pots arrived, or no, that's actually not good way to phrase that. The pots arrived very quickly. Finally, I ordered the pots and they arrived from Temu that I will be using. As you know, I used these very small pots in the past for some of my Hoya, but I actually figured out that these may be a bit too small for what I want to be doing in there. So I ordered the next, or maybe this is not the next size up, but I ordered these, and these are something that I'm actually quite happy with. I will get into why I think these are great. And then we have the pots that I can get here locally. So we should have no excuses today to, perform this repot, and no excuses for a foreseeable time in the future. I do need to order a bit more bark, but we will do that very soon as well. We will repot some of the plants that I mentioned in the past that are essentially in a good size spot, but I do want to switch up the mixes a bit because they have been drying out a little bit too fast for my taste, and there are, of course, plants here that absolutely need a repot as well. So let's just begin without any further delay. So first of all, why these pots are great, the ones that I got from Temu, I don't really know how to say that, but anyway, we typically have these clear pots here in the country. We have something that's also a little bit bigger than that, and something that my friends know this. I've been very, very, very frustrated about this, but I cannot get the hangers for these pots. I can only use hangers that come with some of the plants from a garden center, and I don't really have many of those. These hangers are from my friend, and those are stable. The hangers that I can get here in the country, and probably I assume in many other places this is the case as well, the hangers that I get have this quite a wide opening on the bottom. So this is just like a typical hanger that I can get, and all of the hangers that I have ever gotten were exactly the same. They're shorter or longer, different colors, but the opening is exactly the same. I think they're all produced by the same company, and these are impossible to use with these pots. And this has just been an issue for me because I can hang anything, and you will see now why. And I don't want to, there are many ways to solve this issue, of course. I can drill the holes, use some string, etc. But I don't want to do that. I want an easy and simple solution, and this doesn't work because these fall off very fast. So, it kind of looks like this, and it kind of looks like it's gonna work, but because the lip is so small, it's actually very easy for these to become unhooked, and then poop, they fall off. Well, the pots from Temu, they have a lip here. They're thinner plastic, so let's just get them out. They actually have there a nice big lip. So now I can hang stuff. This is a new era for me, so pardon me for being excited. Plus they're cheap. See, this works. And that stays on. That just really stays on. Should I do a demonstration with the other one to see how quickly it will fall off? I mean, not that you need to be swinging your plants around, but wind. Let's see. Oh, see, already became unhooked. And this happens, I go past the plant, I kind of catch it with my body, with my hair, and it falls off. See? I mean, what the heck? We are not going to be using this for anything that I plan to hang, but we will be using these. And if you've been having the same issue, I recommend these pots, not sponsored, etc. None of that. But I just am very, very pleased with what I got. So we are ready to begin here. So we can start really with that Hoya Kumariana. That really just needs to be changed. The mix just needs to be changed. It has really nice roots, and the pot, of course, we can change it now as well. I watered all of these yesterday. I don't know how much of this mix is gonna fall off. I'm gonna try to not overwork the roots, but I do definitely need to do something because, yeah, the cocoa husk by itself, it works really, really great. Otherwise, these roots wouldn't have grown so much, but someone needs to be watering quite frequently for that to work all the time. So let's just get that out. I mean, you can see she's actually really well rooted, so I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm just gonna try to get some of that cocoa husk off. And then I think this other pot is a slight upsize. Yeah, it's a slight upsize, not too much, but it will be enough for me to put that new mix around. So this is not me saying that cocoa husk is a bad potting mix. I actually quite like it. It's so good for rooting Hoya in. They root really, really fast. They seem to really enjoy it. Oh, we're gonna have to kind of stop here because I might break some of these off, but they seem to really, really enjoy it. I mean, the roots just have so much surface area to grab onto, but yeah, I can't be watering a billion times a week. And it's not a billion times a week. It's just like, if I just water 2-3 times a week, this would be great. But that's just not what is in the cards for us. And of course, if you have used cocoa husk at any point in your life, you do know that it's kind of hard to remove, darn near impossible, without damaging too many roots. And because these are all healthy roots, I'm just not going to do that. Well, I mean, I did damage some, obviously, but I'm just gonna stop here. We did get some of it off, but we're just gonna rely that this is a slightly larger pot, and then the mix is with moss, pumice, and other things. So the mix that I will be using is a little bit of moss, a lot of pumice, bark, and cocoa husk. So my mix of choice. And I might need a little bit more moss. This is my hair. I mean, organic. Let's just get her in there. I have also lost my thing, the shovel that I use for this, and I've spent quite a significant time yesterday searching for it, but it's nowhere to be found. So we're back to using our hands. I don't have the gloves today. I spent most of the gloves. I just need to go grocery shopping, and I've been very lazy about doing that. And then I will get the gloves as well. A lot of these are going to be quick repots. There are going to be some trellising stuff too, so you can look forward to that. But anyway, I have been a little bit irregular in January, not because I really wanted to. I actually have a lot of things that I need to film, but some things have taken more time. And as I said, the January kind of drags out here because of all the holidays. And of course, there are protests going on in the country currently against our regime. I will be talking very briefly about this for those of you who don't know, and maybe some of you know, but students are having the massivest protest essentially since the 60s, I believe, and potentially ever in the country. And, you know, attending those also takes some time. And then hopefully we can look forward to some positive change in the future. I'm not going to get into why those are happening. I just, you know, felt that I needed to mention them. I mean, I could. I actually thought about making like a video dedicated about that because, plus, I mean, you also, because I know where my audience is from, may be experiencing similar regime in the future. Anyway, we can swing her, we can swing her. I actually don't have hangers for all of these. I mean, I have a plethora of hangers, but I didn't bring all of them. So I guess we can hang those after the video is over. Let's do my Hoya Bertonia, the true Bertonia, which has been rerouted because I rotted it after the video. I mean, why not? I always say good things about a Hoya, and then like 3 days after, it's like croaks. I don't know why this is. You know, I grow Hoya, for example, I don't know, my Hoya Paradisa. I mean, I grow Hoya successfully for like years and years and years, and then I make a video about it and saying how this Hoya is great, and like in 2 days it starts croaking, and I'm like, what the heck? I just mentioned you in a video. Anyway, let's just get some of these dry aerial roots off. This one is looking okay. I'm actually surprised that these roots are looking good because I have been massively underwatering this, and even though Hoyas from Acanthostema section can stand to be underwatered, really shouldn't overdo it. Also, let's try not to get any sap on my freshly clean sweatpants. So, the true Hoya Bertonia that I do have a spotlight on. Unfortunately, the branch with the peduncle has dried because I didn't really look at my propagations, so it kind of dried. Unfortunately, we might need to wait for a very long time until we see her in bloom again. I do see some dehydrated vines here, which probably means that not all of these have the most massive root system, like this propagation here. I love when I take a Hoya, I don't know if anyone else does this, I love when I take cuttings of a Hoya in hopes of recovering it, and then I do even worse with it. It's like, what are we doing? Is this recovery or is it the final push over the cliff, right? I don't know. My sentiment about Hoya has changed a lot in the past months, several months, and the thoughts about Hoya resilience, which I have many thoughts about that, not as resilient and can really be nasty with their roots. But let's just not get into all that again. So you don't really see, I'm gonna move my camera just a tiny bit. Let's see how we can arrange this, but first I do need a bit more of the mix. I think probably for Hoya from the Acanthostema section, it would be best to use a mix that doesn't have moss in it, because they can be sometimes sensitive to that too. But I'm just gonna proceed and like, listen girls, you're gonna have to really adjust here. Alrighty. I do believe I did not do the best job here mixing that pumice in. This is also not my preferred pumice size. I do like to go for slightly bigger pumice pieces that I get from Aqua, but I just decided that I'm probably not going to be ordering pumice from Aqua Genera anymore because we finally got some lechuza here. So I will, and they have monopon. And even though their pumice is smaller, I think I will just do that because, you know, it's always better to order locally. And, you know, I get to save on shipping and I get to save on importing that. All right, I think this is good enough. So, yeah, we can definitely see that this is quite pumice heavy. But that's okay. That's not an issue if your mix is pumice heavy. I mean, I used to grow in pure pumice and that works too. And I actually still have Hoyas here in pure pumice that, oh my goodness, need to be watered. What are we doing? Okay, well, I guess we will be watering as well very quickly. Let's do all the hanging ones first. So we have 2 more that I intend to hang, and then I don't know what to do with this one. I do like this one hanging quite a lot, but it does get a little bit annoying, and I don't know. Maybe it would look nice on a trellis as well. I can't decide. Because, you know, if I put it on a trellis, I can just put it in the cabinet. But then if I keep it hanging, I can leave it in the tent, but my tents are gonna be really crowded very quickly. So I don't really know what to do with this one. And then I have another one that has been in pawn one of the few left in pond, which I need to fix. It's this one. It's Hoya species EPC 960. So I think I will keep this hanging, though I'm not really sure in what size pot. Yeah, I'm gonna keep these two actually, not hanging necessarily, but cascading. But anyway, let's do two bigger ones that are remaining hanging, and then we will get to the rest. Here we have microstemma, and microstemma has flowers open someplace. Oh, here they are. Though they're on their way out, you're not going to be able to see that really well because my camera is focusing on my face as always. But they're really tiny flowers, and I need to take a better photo of those flowers. I don't have any photos with my macro lens, so I need to document those. And then we have this lacunosa, which is so cute. So let's do those two. I need to keep tabs on the time as well because I have my Hungarian class as well today, and we do not want to be late. Let's do the microstemma first. And she's going to remain hanging in the tent. These need washing. Now this one is not as rooted as Kanyakumariana, or maybe the roots are not so tightly intertwined with the cocoa husk, so slightly easier to remove some of those. I can't wait for this to become like a super lush pot of microstemma. And I'm so glad I restarted this one. I really need to look at all of the Hoyas that because I know that I said at one point I'm not gonna restart any more of them if they're like okay. But honestly, this has looked so much better since the restart that I think I need to actually restart everything that I want to restart. That was a good instinct. Though I think I need to limit myself when it comes to how many I restart at once. Let's see. Let's do slightly more mix on the bottom, and then can anyone believe that the spring is coming so fast? I feel like I have so few weeks before the spring, and like I need to start with my spring chores basically. I need to do like my treatment of the plants, and I think I will do it with paraffin oil and wash them, I guess, after that. Let's see how that goes for me. But I just feel we have very, very few weeks left until spring. Even though it's super cold, we've been having extremely cold weather, but I don't know, like January flew by for me, and always when it's the end of January, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the end of February basically as well. I actually mentioned this in one of my previous videos and someone said, slow down. But it's true, the time flies so fast. Don't really know how Madonna did that song, Hung Up. Girl, time don't go by slowly. It goes by really, really fast. Let's do one more of those hanging plants. This is probably the only lacunosa that I have in my tent. I think it's the only one. I keep most of my lacunosas in the Millsbo, and we will repot those. I also need to go through those lacunosas and see which of them I really want to keep, because, you know, even though I love lacunosa, let's not have million. Oof, this is really root bound. I also have a lot of cuttings in here, so let's just try to keep them all together. I'm not really a fan of doing this because sometimes the leaves are going to fall off if I handle them so roughly, but in this case I really want them to remain all in a bundle. These roots are really, really looking good. They're really like cocoa husk. I mean, that is great. Love to see some healthy root growth. Almost makes me want to water more. And the next Hoya that I can do is actually something that I forgot to put. I can't believe I did this. I forgot to put this Hoya on my favorites of 2024 because it bloomed just slightly before recording that video. And I don't know, I forgot about it completely. It is Hoya Kaikoiana, and I have a red one. And oh my goodness, when you see those photos, she's amazing. Can't believe I forgot about her. And maybe if you stick around, I can show you my Hoya buntokensis. It finally bloomed. It took a long time to open those flowers. Like, I think at least 2 weeks. The buds looked ready for 2 weeks and she finally opened them today. So I will show you that a bit later. It's never really fun to repot Hoyas that have so many stems, but they always look so good when they're filled. I also have a super exciting project aside from that Millsbow coming up that I am really in love with, and I can't wait for you to see. I think you're gonna love it as well. I think it's something that I would like to do a couple of more times. It's something that I think a lot of you will like, but I just need a couple of more days / a week to finish it. Hello, hello. She's so cute. She's adorable little Hoya. Let's do Kaikkoiana. Kaikkoiana needs to go on a trellis. I don't have ideal trellises, but I have trellises that are gonna do. I tried to grow Kaikkoiana hanging, but it doesn't really, I mean, it works. I will show you. I have my 2 Fausiana, which I will most likely join. And then Kaikkoiana, you know, it's not that it doesn't work to hang it, it works, but I just think she's gonna look nicer on a trellis. So we are going to get her, I have a couple of pots here that do have pre-installed by me trellises. They're not my favorite. So something like this, you can't even see it against my black sweater, but this is that green wire that I've been using for trellises. It's okay. Oh, actually, you know what? I can make, because I do have those see-through trellises, a couple of more from Susie, and I have been given some trellises that are for orchids. I mean, they're not for orchids, but you know how sometimes they put orchid flowers on those trellises. So I think we can actually use some of those. I also have a bunch of these still. So because this is a plant I really like, I think I will do maybe even this. These are really made for my lacunosas, for my Millsbow. Ah! Stop it. Yeah, that's not just gonna, this is gonna be a taller plant than that. So let's just go with the see-through trellis, and I'm not really sure which pot, so let's unpot her to see what kind of a pot I will use. So I guess my plan to keep Hoya forever in these small cups didn't quite work out. Shocking, right? Yeah, this one is one of those plants that makes a very tight root ball as well. So we're not going to really be able to get rid of this cocoa husk completely. Yeah, I'm just ripping the roots. So instead of just, you know, completely going crazy on the roots for this cocoa husk, I will just leave this in a clump and, you know, new roots will grow. So that being said, let's just check what kind of a pot I will be using. That's a little bit too big, maybe. I think that's a decent size. So let's drill one of these pots. Okay. While we wait. You know, while we wait for that to heat up, what I can do actually is take from the pot these 2 Fausianas and just see in what I will be putting them. And since we are heating up the soldering iron, I actually need to see what I'm going to do with my flagellatas, because I have my small flagellatas here, some of the selected seedlings. I think this pot is a little bit too small for them, because we definitely want to be thinking, yeah, I don't know, I want to not repot them again. Can this work? You know, I'm gonna make it work. So let's drill a bunch of pots. We need 4 for flagellata. And if I don't use it for flagellata, I will use it for something else. Now let's do 4 small ones, just in case I change my mind, because that's possible. And then for Phasiana, I think we need a big one, because we have 2 plants I want to join. Oh, and that one has a new vine growing, finally. Let's just see. Yeah, this is also one of those plants that is tightly wrapped. I don't know if we can fit 2. We really can't. Yeah, we're not going to be able to fit 2 Phasiana as I intended in one single pot, because I really don't want to be breaking apart this root ball. So I'm just going to do one in this pot with that trellis, and then the other one I can do in a smaller pot. A good thing about these Timu pots is they're really quick to drill. So at least something positive. Ow! Stop burning yourself, Miro. Stop burning yourself. The downside is they're not super sturdy, so they do tend to lose the shape a little bit as you fasten the trellises, but what are you gonna do? Nothing is perfect. Especially when you find problems with many things like I do. Okay, so I prepared most of the stuff here. We will start with this Phasiana, because she's kind of like in our way. And she's going to go into this pot. And I guess when I said prepared, I actually meant there's still some work to be done. So let's get some potting mix in there from the side. And then this is going to go like that. We're going to put her off to one side. Now, what I would love to know is, where did Miro put the new hair clips? So let's get that. Oh, okay. Perfect. We do need one more. Yeah, I need to get a bunch more of these. They work really well with this trellis because you can barely see them. It's not that I don't like to use Velcro, I do. But once you have mealybugs, I feel this is easier to sterilize. Not that we are inviting any mealybugs. I do have an air gap here. Yeah, I think that's good enough. I don't have any cover pots for these. That is going to be an issue, so I think I might need to go shop around for a decent cover pot, but I actually do like these. They're quite stable. Let's do my Kaikoiana. Kaikoiana is going to go into a slightly smaller pot. We do need to be a little bit careful because this is not too deep. This one really didn't grow that much, unfortunately, since last year. I do suspect mites. She did grow several leaves. She grew only like 3, 4, 5 leaves, which is not something that I'm particularly impressed with. Though I am very impressed with the flower, but I'm just saying the growth could have been a little bit better. On the other hand, if she doesn't grow too fast, she's not going to become very big too soon, and maybe that's a good thing. Let's just wrap this vine around. We're only keeping you because of the peduncle. Otherwise, vines like these that have nothing on them are not particularly welcome. So definitely something that needs to be treated, and then I think she will look nicer. But the leaves are nice. It's just, you know, it could be better. For my other Phasiana, I was thinking this type of a trellis, even though this is not super stable. It will slide out. I think I will just use it. Okay. I actually think I should have done a bigger pot with this as well, but okay. That one is probably gonna fall off. I told you we're not playing around. This is a quick repot. I know that like in some of my videos, the repots can look extremely long, like I can repot a plant for an hour. Well, not really one plant per an hour, but that's because I also make sure to pause and talk and tell you stuff. But today we are really doing no BS fast. Ooh, repot, stop attacking me. Now, I don't really know what to do with my flagellatas, so let's get one of those here. I was thinking either smaller or a bigger pot, and I can't really decide what type of a trellis I want to use. I think seeing the roots is going to help us decide. These are all my seedlings. I have about 15, 14 of them at this point. I did give away some. I need to give away more. And I just think this pot is going to be way too small. Where are you? You know, is it really an upsize? Yeah, let's do that. I will probably regret it, but I just think this is a little bit too big. And also ridiculous looking. Though, my leguminosas are probably gonna look like that. Yeah, I don't know. Let's do this. You know what? I'm gonna do a bigger pot. I'm gonna do a bigger pot so I don't have to repot again anytime soon. And we can just leave them to grow. I think that's the best thing we can do right now. Now, as for the trellis, let's see if I can reuse this scrap piece of wire. Yeah, we're just gonna use that. So I want to see a majority of those trellises for my leguminosas, so I'm just gonna use something slightly cheaper for that. Flagellata, are we missing a pot? We have 4 flagellatas and then 2 smaller plants and then we're done. And I have about then probably 15 minutes to get to my class. Yeah. I just want to select which of these I want to use for the trellis that I like the best. And one of these actually has a peduncle growing, so I think that one. We're just gonna reward her for all the effort. Now I can't find it. I could have sworn one of these had a peduncle that I saw the other day, but with flagellata, peduncles are so thin that I might be missing it. Which one of you was it? Was it you? Now, don't pretend like none of you had a peduncle, because I know that's a lie. I definitely know for a fact that is a big lie. Yeah, now they're like, none of us. It wasn't any of us. This one has a peduncle. Okay. So this one has a peduncle, so you're going to get the best trellis, which in my opinion is this one. And I'm not removing much of the old potting mix because I don't think there's anything wrong with it. So I'm just going to put that here. It is a little bit moldy, but we're going to solve that with hydrogen peroxide. It's moldy because these essentially were in a cup that had the drainage, but in another cup that didn't, because I really needed them to stay moist. I wasn't watering them enough, which is now going to change because they're in bigger pots. So that's no longer going to be an issue. But yeah, we just need to do a little bit of hydrogen peroxide here. Oh gosh, I should not tell you stuff like this. You don't see that it's moldy on camera, right? Like I should just pretend everything is fine and dandy. Once again, I really prefer flagellata, I think, on a tower, but let's just do it like this for now. Also, let's minimize the amount of clips that I'm using, because why am I acting like a Rockefeller here? You don't have a million clips, Miro. Oh, she's gonna look so cute once she fills that trellis out. Let's do the next one. I think this is the second one that I like. So I'm just gonna put her here. It doesn't stink, but there is like a bit of mold going on. We're gonna let them dry out a bit. I did drown them a little bit last night. She does have multiple vines going on, so let's try to kind of get them going on both sides here. They're probably not going to look the sexiest in the beginning, but hopefully we're going to get there. And these thin vines, sometimes what we need to wait is for them to grab onto the trellises. They tend to fall down, and not even zip tie can really help out much there. Let's do this one. Interestingly, this one is bone dry, even though I watered all of them. I almost feel as these would look good hanging, because they sort of started to grow that way. It's like multiple vines from the base. They don't really look like, I mean, I know that flagellata works really, really well on a trellis, but these don't look like necessarily they want or need to be trellised. But it's gonna help me out with the space, because I just, again, can't have everything hanging. And this one also has good growth on both sides, so let's just get some here. I think I'm not gonna keep any more than these 4. I was thinking I can grow all of them out, but that's just not realistic for me. Let's do the last one. This one is in a different mix, but again, we're just not leaving it. This one doesn't have any mold though. Let's do another one here towards the bottom. I kind of feel we need a third one here. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so we have a couple of more plants and they're just gonna be hanging. I decided I'm just gonna leave these hanging. Species yellow sapphire. Now, this one is very, very root bound, so I'm not going to even try to mess with that root ball. I was hoping to put it in this, but it doesn't really fit. She kind of goes over the top. So I'm just gonna do this. And then she's never gonna get repotted again. Though, that means we can't really keep her hanging because of that pot. However, I can leave her to cascade on the shelf. At least something. Another solution, of course, is to get a cover pot that can hang. There we go. And now we don't need to repot this species yellow sapphire. The one that I'm worried about, we're gonna get to now, it's this one. Let's just put this mix someplace else. EPC 960. I have to break the pot. For this one, I think I'm gonna try first with a smaller pot and then with a bigger one. I just want this to be a slow transition, you know. Actually, a lot of that pond did come off, so yeah. And for this, I'm going to slightly select less moss. I must apologize, my camera turned off there, my battery got empty, and I just couldn't record anymore yesterday, so I finished repotting that one plant without the camera, but here it is. So this is the EPC 960, Hoya species EPC 960, tangled in another plant. So I'm just gonna show you how they ended up looking like. And now they're showered and watered and ready to go back into the cabinet and the tents, etc. So this is EPC 960. And these small pots can also support the hangers, which is great. So we have finished that one. And just a brief revisitation of the other ones. So this is Hoya I. They all got their hangers, so we can work out. You know, next time you will see me buff. Anyway, Hoya I. We do have large air gaps here, but I did try my best, though I think this was probably not my best here. So that one is finished, and I can't wait to see her grow even more. And then Hoya Bortonia, I managed to pot all of them. I hope that they are not gonna rot. Maybe I should have gone with pure bark for this one, but you know, regrets later. So this is actually looking even maybe better than when it looked before I chopped it, because now it's more vines in a single pot, and I will put it someplace in highlight. Species Yellow Sapphire, I think maybe I sort of wrap it around a bit, this hanger. I don't know. What do we think? I saw that what some people do is they let them hang and then they bring them up. So it kind of looks like a hanging ball, sort of like this, but you know, when it's all around. What I should have done is, I think what I should have done is at least take one of these vines and pin them down so it can root in more places and produce more growth, but this is okay too. I can always do that later on. I can just take some cuttings and propagate them on top. But this is Yellow Sapphire. I would actually love this to be a big full pot, so can't wait to see that happen. We have Microstemma. This one I really like. Can't wait again to see just a nice full pot. This one can grow as big as she wants to. She's deserved her spot in the collection. And then the last one of the hanging plants is this Lacunosa Dorian Perangin Waterfall. So we did it. Now let me just show you a couple of them in bloom. Here is my Hoya buntokensis in bloom. Look at those red leaves. And then the flowers are so pretty. The peduncle is a bit short, so let's not push it. We can't really manipulate those flowers really well. I'll try to take a photo before I publish this video, which probably means that I'm not going to take any photos. Let's see, gonna get a close-up there. Okay, that is looking really nice. And then we have one more in bloom. Where are you? We have a Papua Hoya. Here she is. Little spider, itsy bitsy spider. I don't know the song. I did not grow up in the USA, so I don't know the lyrics. But you can see there the really nice flower. I really don't know how to hold this and show you. My camera needs to chill out with focusing on my face. There we go. Perfection. So cute, so adorable. And since I'm showing you plants, let's just show you quickly this Gesneriad. This is Codonanthus vista, which is an Emethanthus in Codonanthe. Look at her. She's so cute. Let me zoom in a little bit. Ooh, there we go. Hey, actually, if I zoom in, it's kind of easier to show you the flower. Who would have thought? Maybe someone who read the manual of the camera. Buntokensis. Oh, wow. That is really easier. Huh. Read the manuals, guys. Read the manuals. Oh my gosh, this is so easy to show you the flowers like this. What the heck? I am discovering a whole new dimension of YouTube. And the leaves too, like look at those. It's so easy to show you. Wow. There we go, forget about my face. And let's focus on this spider. Wow. That is so delicate. Perfection. All right. Someone is being a bit of a kook today. Let's just show you the plants that are on trellises. I just need to find some spot for these. Let's see. Hoya I first. This is the pot that I selected for her. Let's zoom in on that. Look at that. Wow. It's much easier to show you the leaves like this. So very beautiful foliage on this Hoya I. Two Phausianas. Slightly different pots for these two, but very nice looking plants. And they're gonna... And I hope they grow well. They are growing better now than in pond, but still I think there's room for more improvement. And then we have my 4 flagellata seedlings. This one is the one that I like less. It's just nothing too special with this one. It's a little bit easier to show you what these leaves look like when I zoom in, which I can't believe I'm figuring out just now. So that's one of them. This is the other one that I just don't really love. It's fine, it's just like it's not too special, but it's one of the ones that I would keep. It's mostly a single vine with nothing too particular. Then I have 2 others, which I really like. I think this is the one with the peduncle. Yeah, this one has a tiny peduncle here, which it's so small you're not going to be able to see, but they got nicer trellises. These 2. This one also has nice long leaves. Not as splashy, some on the bottom are splashy, but it's mostly that peduncle that's making me love this one. You can see some splash there on the leaves of this flagellata seedling. And then this one I believe is with the most splash of my flagellata seedlings. We just need to sort of focus there. It's the most splash of them all. Alright, that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was maybe a bit all over the place, but we are a little bit all over the place. Just cuckoo here currently, but it shall get better. I don't know what else to tell you except to have a great weekend. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I will see you very soon in my next video. Of course, if you want, like, subscribe, etc. Send me a kiss. I'm sending you one. Mwah. Love you. And that's that for today. See you soon. And bye. I really don't know what to add to my outros. That's it. That's it. I should really come up with like a way to finish my outro, something like unique that you haven't seen anywhere on YouTube, but I just don't know what that is. Oh, I know. Bye. Ah! No. Water your plants. I would like to take some time to thank all of my patrons for their incredible support. A massive shout out to my $5 patrons, my 2 anonymous patrons, Alex von Siebenthal, Anne Margaret Morin, Angela Bernard, Angela Parrish, Anna P, and C. Aspen Drake, Betsy, Brett Noble, Connie Pagano, Daniela, Danube Daniels, Down on Rolls, Deepanjali Rao, Either W, Eleni Saxon, Ellen, Farah, Ferdis Verdance, Francis Wilkins, Gathering Moss, Gina Geisa, Gina Radovic, Grositz Kyle, Growing Nurse, Hannah Matlin, Heather Uppingham, Hunji Scott, Yana Griffin, Jennifer Martin, Jessica Chio, Jody D. Gomez, Jonas Bayer, Hjort Larson, Cara, Catherine P, Casey Gross, Callie Gallagher, Kelso, Kimberly Polka, Kiwi Mochi, Christy Ehrlich, Ellen, Bergley Moon, Mooney, Luka Zerchevsky, Mandy Milliken, Marcel Har, Marina Yarmolich, Morris B, Marty Miller, Melissa Walker, Michelle Heron, Mirka Grun-Roos, MJW, Moa Edmund, Miss Seidenhar, Neely Yang, Niha, Nicole Moreau, Nina Nguyen, Nita Macy, Odette, PJ Pacific NW, Guy 97, Plant Grid, Saig Zera, Rachel Peterson, Rebecca C, Renee Church, Sharon Bowen, Sophia Rian, Starla Van Lith, Sufi Gordekangas, Tessa Martins, Thomas Marsden, Tia B, Trista Bailey, Tristan Thomas, Van Isle Dude, Xenia Green, Youth of the Walmut, Zaira Rivera, Zordarama, Zlakop Niponi, and a flower. A big thank you to my $3 patrons: Anna Malia, Karen Kilon Constance, Daryl De Rosario, Eden Corlett, Holly Borner, KPZ, Lindsay Ann, Monica Wykers, Nella Nerdy Kathy, Ringlov, Shayla Casper, Tangwa Tanasria Cool, and a thank you to my $1 patrons: one anonymous patron, Alice Borlin, Andrew G. Aquila, Brandon Pacheco, Catherine Molina, Couture Helvetica, Emilia Bronson, Jolie Sullivan, Kayla Vavra, Kelly Ash, Chris Perez, Laura E. Jackson, Lauren at Tugboat Plants, Lorianne Subramaniam, Luzmin Fernandez, Marga FV, Mary Diamond, Mary Rose, Neely Spicer, Olivia Chen Mueller, and Pacific NW Plant Lady.